your horror movie podcast.
Justin loves sci-fi and comments.
Welcome back, /. Tonight, or this morning, or whenever the fuck you feel like watching this, we are doing Night of the Comet. It's my choice. I fucking picked this, so you can deal with it, Justin. Do you hear me? All right.
All right. I'll deal with
I know how much you love
Deal with
taglines, so I wrote down them all. It was the last thing on Earth they ever expected. They came, they shopped, they saved the world. The comet's coming, and the world will never be the same. The last time it came, Justin, the dinosaurs disappeared.
Oh my god! Once again,
I do love it. I love it. I like wrote a lot of this.
He loves a good tagline.
Oh my god!
All right, Justin, you want to let us know if you've ever seen this movie before and what your expectation rating was?
I have seen this. This is the second time I've seen this. Watched it a few years ago. My expectation was probably around 6 for this one. Well, we'll just say that. Waterboy, what do you got?
I've never seen this before.
Well, let's say I'm gonna give it a 5. You know, right in the middle. You know how I am.
Couldn't tell if the sun was up or the sun was down.
You know, it says Comet in there, and I love space, so I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10.
I was gonna say you got all
expectation rating because I know Justin hates it, but I love this stuff. I can't get enough of this stuff.
I would have given it a 7.1, but I thought a comet was spelled with 2 M's, and they made me feel like an idiot. I gave this a 6.2 because I had never seen it, and I simply just wanted to see it.
There you go.
That's literally it. All right, who's bringing us to this festivities?
I guess I'm going to start us off.
South Central.
I guess I'm going to start us off here. Since before recorded time, it had swung through an elliptical orbit so large that its very existence remained a secret of time and space. But now, in the last few years of the 20th century, the visitor was returning. All right, so we open up to a whole world celebrating for the arrival of a comet.
Let's go.
Inside of a movie theater, we see a concession stand worker doing his best sales pitch on some high-quality alien antennas. These are the best ones you can get.
The way he sold those was nice.
It was great. He should definitely.
You need these. Ain't no one else got these.
Look,
I got
this
them,
one,
but you
these
want
are the
them,
7.
so you can get them.
These are the $7 ones. These are the $9.95 ones. Such high quality. Look, you see that? You see that little jingle?
Oh my god!
Swing over to meet Regina playing Tempest instead of working, but it's okay because she just wants to get the high score. Giving Samantha her sister a call to get her to lie to her mother about a school field trip so that she could spend the night with Larry, the projectionist, which her mom doesn't believe. And I don't know what family this is, but Samantha and Doris get into a fight, slapping each other, and Doris punching her right in the fucking face. I guess that's normal.
Like, if there's so many people around too, like no one gave a fuck.
Dude, she decked her, and it was like it was like an everyday, like it wasn't even like a big deal.
It's all right.
Okay.
Mom, stop.
Mom just being mom.
Yeah. I'm on the dental plan. Don't worry about
it. Larry and Samantha get it on. And the next morning after the comment, we get glimpses all across the city showing everybody who had witnessed it firsthand having been Thanos snapped, and kind of surprised how much trash and cars are not on the roads, except for that one singular car. There was just one car out there.
The Benz running?
Yeah.
Yep.
Larry, having supposed to get film brought back to him, goes out to go get the guy. But upon exiting, he gets hit in the face with the pipe wrench and dragged away. Reg goes out to investigate to see nobody and locks herself out and goes into the alley to try to get back inside and sees the guy who killed him. Best described as
I know how to do defense stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Just he's like holding a big chunk of meat. And it's a talking zombie munching down on some Larry. Regina takes Larry's keys to his motorcycle and dips before he could get to her. Driving back home, we see Samantha's okay since she had slept in the lawn storage shed and is unaware of what's going on. So Reg goes and shows her that everybody's dust.
See, Justin, even Cropsy sleeps in lawn storage sheds. It's normal in the
Yeah.
80s.
It is. I've
That's a
learned
normal
that now.
thing.
Yep.
They figure they'll go try the radio station since it seems that the show has been running since the comet. And upon arriving, they find out that it's all automated and just kept running. They get startled by a guy with a gun, which we learn is Hector, making sure that they are not one of those things that ripped apart a girl he's explaining that he had picked up and found. And you can't be too careful. Right, Justin?
Right. Let's go.
How did you not drop in and eating that pussy joke?
Well, don't even say that, please.
Well,
Let's keep moving.
he talks about them eating a cat.
Sean,
No.
I gotta let you know. We can't have those jokes on this podcast.
Oh my god, why are we even doing that? Why are we even doing that voice? What? No, that was all wrong. So much wrong about that last minute. Dear God. I don't even want to say the whole
Take it away, Mr. Justin Rand.
We're getting on to 2024. We've got Kamala. She's
Bro, delete
Just
all
mute
that,
him.
please.
Just mute
I
him.
was gonna say, how do I mute him from my side? Please, whoever edits this, just delete that whole entire part. Thank you very much. We don't need any politics talk in here.
Cancel.
Now, anyway, after my dear God, you're gonna get canceled singular, just like
After my dear God.
and then there was only two of us. Anyway, so yeah, after Hector introduces himself to them, we find out where he spent his night, and Regina thinks like, oh, steel, like maybe there's something to do with steel. Maybe it like blocks the comet's powers. And we see that he has a gun, and Regina was not impressed by Hector's gun at all.
It looked very small.
She was not digging that at all. But Samantha, though, she's having a blast because she is also the radio DJ, and she is talking, she is spinning all kinds of music. She's making the best of it because forgot what I was gonna say right there. But anyway, that was terrible. I had an awesome joke and I completely
when
froze.
she reads off the hit line.
Yeah.
Did it take you guys a second to realize she understands the phone number is 555 hits?
And she does get a call though. She gets a call, and it's a really weird thing. You hear people saying like, "Oh, they're in the desert," something about a research group, a really weird call. And then we have a flash, and we see like a cutscene to a bunch of like a group of scientists, I guess, and they're talking like, "Oh, what? Bring them here? Like, there's survivors. We're gonna have to leave tomorrow. We definitely don't want to get caught up on the street at night again." So you realize, holy shit, something else is at play here. And then all of a sudden we see Sam, she's driving, and we see two cops follow her, and she gets pulled over. And there's zombie cops. Look out.
Dude, the special effects when they attack her inside the Porsche when she's drinking and driving
Yeah.
is phenomenal. These
Yeah, sorry, I
cops
lost
look
my spot again
amazing.
there, but
That's
it looks
pretty good.
awesome. Absolute badass. And then once again, like we see her, like she falls asleep. It was all a dream. And then literally minutes later, again, the same thing happens. She's basically dreaming again, and she is getting changed in front of a mirror, and that same son of a bitch zombie cop comes in and attacks her, and she ends up waking up, and it was all a dream. And we see Regina and Hector.
Dude, what's that like? Why did you keep dreaming of that shit?
I know, like we're like right back to it, like
Dream
damn.
within a dream.
I was gonna say, like you wake up, and then another dream. And we see Regina and Hector talking, and he's basically talking about how he has to go to San Diego. He's got to go check up on his mom, and he's got to do it. So flash forward to the next morning where we see Regina and Sam, they're practicing their shooting. We see that Hector has left to go check on his mom, and we follow Hector now as he's in the house looking around. And all of a sudden he hears something behind the door. Something burst out. We get like a little zombie cannibal kid, I want to say.
Yeah, fuck that kid.
Yeah, like holy hell, like yeah, this thing is a little terrified thing, and it attacks him. Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're losing you, water boy. His fucking face right now.
Oh my god. Are you back?
Oh, me?
That was awkward as shit because I thought like
Sort of.
dude, your laugh kept freezing. So I'm like, wait, like yeah, that was messed up. All right, we got
So it was creepy.
Yeah, that was wicked creepy. I was like talking, and it was like echoing laughing, and I was like, fuck.
It was
I was like
that.
I was like trying to talk, and you're like, I'm like, shit, what is happening? Anyway, so after Hector runs away for his life right there, we get a cut back to the scientist woman. She's on the computer talking about found survivors. They're talking about how they need to do tons of blood tests, but she also is saying how she doesn't want any outsiders brought in to the facility. And then we see the kids getting out of a chopper. We see the chopper landing, and there's a bunch of kids coming in there, and you see this woman's pissed. She does not want them here. But clearly, these people are like rescuing survivors and trying to do some kind of test on these people.
Kind of gives you the feeling that they're trying to like hold the world together and restart civilization in a good way.
In a good way, exactly. Yeah. You don't think anything bad's going on. You see, like they're trying to like help her and everything. So we basically see now the two sisters. They're driving in a cop car. So anyway, they're in the cop car and they're just chilling in the car. And she's basically like, you know what? We got to get creative. Like, what should we do? Let's go shopping. And then we actually get a badass scene. I actually love the scene when they have girls just want to have fun, just blasting over that.
Great music for that.
Dude, like this scene of them just completely vibing, dressing up, like shopping, and awesome scenes. So, like such an 80s scene. Like it kind of reminds me of like Chopping Mall, like that, just like that, how that scene played out. And then all of a sudden we see that they're being watched by a bunch of like insane hooligans on a video camera.
Yeah, dude, creepy ass guys at night inside, like with an office with no lights on and just wearing sunglasses
indoors. In the darkest room. It's very odd. And anyway, they end up
really just that it's on,
dude. They end up killing the lights, and we hear, "Attention, shoppers! You better have a credit card for that." And then all of a sudden, these dudes just stop blasting. Like we have a full gunfight. These guys are shooting like friggin' machine guns at them. Insane gunfight, and thank God there is so much awful shooting.
They've got worse shooting than fucking stormtroopers.
I was just gonna say, whatever those weird mechanical robots you guys like from that Star Show. I thought of that. I couldn't remember the name of it. The friggin' Star Trek shooters. But anyway, yeah, these dudes don't hit anything. They are shooting and shooting, and and Samantha is throwing shoes at them. So like, I don't know, they brought a gun to a shoe fight. Anyway, meanwhile, there's a chopper landing outside, and we see Sam running upstairs, still throwing shoes at people, and she ends up being captured. Take it away, Sean.
She gets captured, but boy, oh boy, is this fucking gunfight something to laugh at. Who shuts off the lights, keeps their sunglasses on, and then just starts shooting MAC-10s everywhere? You can't fucking hit anything. You can't see anything.
That was ridiculous.
So now that Willie and the Stock Boys have failed miserably at life and decided to take Sam and Regina hostage, they reveal the effects of the comet have begun to take them over when they take off their sunglasses. The Dharma Initiative shows up and unloads, turning the Stock Boys into Swiss cheese. Regina then takes the helicopter back to the base while leaving Dr. White, Oscar, and Sam behind to wait for Hector. Audrey sits down with Sam and they have some girl talk. They get very friendly with each other before she pulls out a briefcase with some sort of syringe. She then tells Sam that this is going to help her with any effects from the comet. Aubrey is lying, though, and this dose kills Sam. Oscar questions Dr. White, so she simply just busts a cap in his bitch ass before she heads back to the radio station to wait for Hector.
Warranted.
Guess what, guys? Santa Claus is coming to town. And he's in a sweet red 50s Buick, rolling in hot and heavy with flowers and presents for the girls. He's greeted by Dr. White, who's holding him at gunpoint, before saying in less than 36 hours, they're all going to be dust because those fucking idiots at the base left the air vents open and the fans going full blast, exposing them to everything. She then takes a dose of the magic sleepy time juice herself before drifting away. We see Regina is now in some sort of interview room where she's been asked 3 consecutive times if she's ever had hepatitis. Dr. Carter is a very persistent man. We also get to meet 2 nurses. They're taking blood from a couple of unconscious patients, and we learn they're being drained of their blood, and they plan to drain the kids next, and then Regina after that. They left Sam behind because she was exposed and she's of no use to them. And Dr. Carter tells Regina that she's dead and not to worry about it because it was quick and painless. Dr. Carter is then informed that the effects of the comet are starting to ramp up.
Mm-hmm.
He wants
Dustin's
to move.
Feeling it.
Yeah, he wants to move forward. He wants to move forward with the development of the serum, even if they don't have enough for everyone. Regina smashes a piece of heavy equipment over a lab tech assistant's head and tries to make her escape. Hector shows up now, playing a drunk Mexican cowboy. He shows up and talks to the guard and talks him in circles. He then tells him he's got to show him something, and he pops the trunk. Turns out Sam's not dead, and Dr. White wasn't a bad person. She shot Sam up with fake stuff to make him think she was dead.
Yeah.
The PA system now alerts the base that their guest is on the loose in the compound and to keep an eye out for her. Regina finds her way into the human blood bag lab and is panicked. She's found by this backhand bitch slapping bitch ass lab tech, takes her away. Now we see Hector, and he's strapping up dynamite to the bottom of something. It looks like it might be a car, but these psychotic lab techs are getting ready to dose these kids and turn them into blood bags too. And then the alarms go off, distracting them. Sam shows up, nearly shooting Regina, who's now got those same lab techs at gunpoint. They strap them into the laughing gas, and they leave a note that says they're gone to meet Santa. At the same time, the bodies that were being kept alive have now died, and the scientists panic as their only hope are these kids and the girl. They go to pursue them, and instead, Hector pulls over to wait, and he wants to see them get into the car. And he does, and the second they start it, it blows up. Guess we know what the dynamite was for. An infected lab tech whose effects look amazing. I love the way they turn these people into like living zombies. He shows up and he starts to attack the group, and he gets his head blown off. And now it's the next morning, and it's raining, and it's literally washing everyone away. We see them going down storm drains. It's actually pretty cool. And then it skips ahead to like a nice, post rainy day, sunshine weather. And it's family portrait time as Regina and Hector are playing fucking family with these kids. And the little girl looks at Hector and says, "Hey, if you're just going to throw that gun away, can I have it?" He says no. When they come back, they come to like a crosswalk, and Regina tells them not to cross until the light changes. Sam's across the street losing her mind, and she calls absolute bullshit. And Regina's like, in order to survive in society, you can't cross until the light changes. So Sam says, "Fuck that, watch." And she goes and she starts like singing and dancing in the street. And guess what? She almost gets hit by some fucking kid in a Benz. One guy, the only other guy in LA, almost runs her over. And he even says, "Hey, you shouldn't be in the street until the light changes." This kid is also DMK from earlier in the movie when she's playing the video game and she's pissed that someone else took a high score. Yep. So Sam decides to get into the car with this guy that she's never met and drive away. Regina's like, "Okay, guys, have fun. Have her back by midnight." And then we get end credits, and that's the end of the movie. But wait, I have just one gripe with the end of this movie. You can't cross the street until the light changes, but then they're playing fucking catch in the middle of the road. How do you teach your kids that? It's like look both ways in traffic and then lay down.
Well, I have a crosswalk.
I have a whole gripe with this last 25 minutes of this movie. But anyway,
all right,
God,
that's the end of the movie. Good, so, Justin, before you lose your fucking mind, why don't you tell us about your gripe and give us a rating?
Holy shit!
So good,
dude. This end of this movie, I was so upset and so angry at because the first hour of this movie, the first like 1 hour and 4 minutes, I love it. I love 80s movies. The imagery of this movie was so incredible. Like the special effects are incredible. Like I love how the people look. And even though I don't like a lot of the newer sci-fi movies and stuff, like some of the old school dumb sci-fi movies like Elements that are pretty cool. The sky being orange and red and like the abandoned city shots, like that. I actually love. The two sisters,
nice not to have it blue.
It looks so cool. The two sisters, absolutely love them. And the first hour of this movie, I was so excited about the build. But then, I don't know, man. The last 25 minutes lost me so bad. And I even rewatched. So there was the second time I watched this movie, but I actually watched the last 30 minutes even before we podcast again, just to see if I'd like it even more. Oh, it gets so boring. The pacing gets so bad because they build this awesome, cool stuff. And then all of a sudden, it's just we watch a bunch of scientists just like talk to her for like way too long in the room asking her hepatitis questions, and then it just gets so slow. Like, oh my god, it pissed me off so much, dude. Like I was loving it. Like I had this rated at like probably like an 8 through the first hour, and like I dropped my rating. It's still a respectable rating. I give it a 6 out of 10. But the ending, dear God, the ending is like a fucking 3 out of 10. Like they fumbled this movie so bad, which still pisses me off. It's definitely worth a watch. Like I said, I love a lot of the feel of it, but the ending, man, they needed something more exciting at the end. The stupid dress up with the kids was so stupid.
So stupid.
It was the dumbest fucking feel at the end of this movie, and just the long played out of the scientists. Holy shit, they ruined this movie. I mean, I feel like a 6 is more than a generous enough.
It was
movie,
it was
so
rushed.
much. Go ahead, Waterboy.
So I literally gave it the exact same rating, a 6. I do like you said, I love the way like they had the cityscape look and all that. It almost reminded me of like how they did with Ghost Mars, where they had that orange tent with everything.
I had that in my notes like for earlier that I was gonna chime in and say I was gonna be like, Waterboy, this is where Ghost of Mars came from.
Yeah, no shit. And like even the zombies, like of course there wasn't many of them that you could really see in this, but
right.
What they did with them, I liked it. It sort of reminded me of, I don't know if you guys seen that movie Route 666, where they're like randomly coming to life on that highway. But it was really cool, really well done. Except of course with Justin's gripe, they just got so lazy with the end of this movie. I don't know what they were thinking. It's literally it goes from like
it's like a different movie.
It is a completely different movie. Like, why are you taking random pictures of these kids at the end of the movie? Like I don't know. It's so weird.
Way too scientific.
Like I get it if it was like quirky and like fun, but that scene should have only lasted about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Not make it the end of the movie, not make it 5 minutes.
And all the scientist scenes, man, they dragged that shit out way too much at the end.
Completely dragged. Oh my gosh. And
all right. So Justin, I actually wholeheartedly agree with both of you guys. And if you could take the first 2/3 of this movie and make it have a baby with the last third of the burning, we'd have one epic fucking film.
Yes.
Because really this movie roped me in. And then when it was time for me to do my notes, I had a hard time not falling asleep.
Dude, I never fall. I wanted to, like, I had to rewatch. Like I said, I rewatched the last 30 minutes before we went on because I was so friggin' bored. I started looking at my phone. I never do that. I try to be so present with these movies.
Like to bring in Willie and the Stock Boys, amazing. Keep that fucking energy going. And they almost do with Dr. Aubrey, looking like she kills Sam. And then kills herself in the radio station, and then Hector's dressed up as fucking Santa, dude, driving in a classic car. Keep that fucking momentum, bro.
Dude, the second after she put her to sleep, the movie just died right there. That's why I said like an hour in like 4 minutes, like my part, and then like
that movie died with Dr. White on the couch.
100%. That movie sucked after that.
Like it lost me wholeheartedly, and believe it or not, dude, my rating is a 6.1.
Yep. Oh my God, yeah, we're all
because that beginning of the movie was just so good. The effects were so good. The camera shots were so good.
Right?
Even the little bits of comedy, they're not like everywhere. This isn't a horror comedy. This isn't tropey, but like the little bits were great. Like I'm pretty sure that dude in the beginning in the movie theater when he pulls out the flashlight, I honest to God thought he called it a flashlight. And then the tropes, like throughout, like not the tropes, but the little nods to other movies in this movie, great. I have them in, I have a lot of them in fun facts, but the last fucking, unfortunately for me, dude, and I picked this, so I'll take the blame for it, dude. But the last 30 minutes of this movie are fucking trash.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking.
I watched this before, and I remember it's funny too because I remember all the good of it. So when I rewatch it. But then I do remember when I was watching it, I'm like, oh yeah, no wonder why I couldn't remember the ending. Like I remember like all the first hour, I remember so fondly, and I was having so much fun on the rewatch. And then the whole ending, I almost fell asleep again. And I'm like, oh shit, that's why I couldn't remember the ending. Is because I must have spaced out the first time too.
I almost want to like ask, is like, was this whole last part of the script? Did they change anything, or were they really rushed?
Not that I could find.
Yeah, not that I could find.
Because I started looking just like you said, Waterboy. I started looking. If you guys remember when we did Hellfest, I love the movie, but we started to notice that each section of the movie gave off different vibes and it didn't match as a movie as a whole. And then when we went through fun facts and we started looking up shit, it had 3 separate directors, one for the beginning, one for the middle, and one for the end, because they kept backing out or something kept happening. And I was looking to see if something like that happened to this movie where someone had to come in and take over at the very end. I will say the only explanation that I could find is that there was such a low budget and such a small time frame for them to make this movie that when it came to shooting the end, maybe they did rush it. You know what I mean? Maybe they tried to find the most cost-effective way to end this movie without having to spend a ton of money. Like, bro, like, give us the fucking highway patrol or the fucking local cops towards the end of the movie. Give us like that shit towards the end. You know,
they needed more action. Yeah, it went. Anyone have any fun facts or anything? You got real stale, real bad.
I've got fun facts, but if either one of you guys want to go first,
I mean, I've got one that Justin probably definitely saw. Of course, I mean, Justin, you love LL Cool J.
I do. Love
I have that,
and he was right there at the beginning of the movie in the crowd.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I've got one. When they show the guy reading off Newfoundland and he's like having trouble pronouncing it, LL Cool J is in that scene holding a microphone. So, Waterboy, from my fun notes, I go, during the crowd scene at the beginning, there was a brief shot of LL Cool J on a microphone. Halloween H2O tie-in, anyone?
Get out. Let's go.
You're right. Hell yeah.
And I thought you said you only have one. Nope, you go.
All right. The think tank base was actually done with miniatures and a forced perspective.
I think that's why they kept showing that guy's shadow like he was overlooking it.
Yep. It reminded me of what's Return of the Living Dead 3 or was it? Yeah. With the
it reminded me of like Total Recall.
That too. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then of course I already told you being the game that she was playing was Tempest from Atari in the movie theater. But that's all I got for you.
Justin, you got anything?
Yeah.
All right. Heart palpitations?
Yeah, a quick serious note. If anyone actually has fuck. All right. Quick serious note. If anyone does listen to us and I sucked this episode and forgot all my words, I'm having an insane chronic illness flare, like so bad. Like I don't remember anything I said this whole episode, and I'm literally detoxing as we speak. Like I'm like literally like I'm like feel like I'm dying. So I'm trying my best to try to get through this, and I don't ever talk about my issues. But just quick shout out if anyone does listen to us. And I sucked, and I have my brain fog is all over the place right now. But anyway, moving past that, I got that brick dust was used for some of the red marks. What Sean said with the DMK license plate, I think he mentioned it, how Sam almost got like ran over by that guy. He was the person that set the high scores earlier on. Sean already read the taglines. I thought it was really cool that in the movie theater, there was a movie poster from the 1932 movie that was called Red Dust. And I thought it's pretty cool because the people turn into red dust. And this was supposed to be like a parody throwback of the 1950s, like sci-fi, like horror movies. The budget was $700K on this, and it grossed 14.4 million in the US. And my favorite one that I found was Josh Whedon of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, literally based Buffy the Vampire Slayer, her character, on Samantha. So I thought that was really cool.
Oh, that's badass.
And that's all I got.
So I've got when cheerleader Samantha is playing at the radio station as a disc jockey, she says she is taking requests from all you Teenage Mutant Comet zombies, as this was the original working title of the film. I thought is a pretty good film, like a title. Wow. The scenes of an empty LA were filmed in the morning. On normal business days, the shots were of the barren city done quickly while traffic was being held up at stoplights. The 2 police officers who are seen riding motorcycles in Sam's nightmare were actually location cops who worked on the movie stopping traffic so filming could be done. The movie theater, this is one of my favorites. The movie theater featured in the beginning of the movie is the historic El Rey Theater. And last but not least, Justin, this one's for you.
Let's go.
When Regina and Larry spend the night at the movie theater in the projection booth, A movie is playing in the background. If you listen to that audio, it is Night of the Living Dead from 1968.
Let's go.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And those are my
Badass.
fun facts, boys.
Whoop, whoop.
We should just do all the movies of Night of the Living Dead. We got Night of the Comet. You know what's badass? Night of the Creeps. I watched that.
Night of the
a couple years
Creeps
ago.
is
I watched that right after Night of the Comet, and oh my god, best movie ever.
Never seen that.
I'm so down. I'm so down. But all right, that about wraps it up. I'm hacky. This dude over here is staring. This guy down here sweating like a juice.
Oh,
machine.
just Justin.
I don't know. That
Look at
was
those-
horrible. I'm sorry.
Hey, he's got to make a pit stop, you know?
Oh god, rough.
Waterboy with the save. The best dad joke of the season. Later.
Peace.
Deuces.